As you guys may know from seeing our previous episode on what we've got planned in the new year, one of those things is getting our cars to a factory in original state. And what we've got planned to do that is fix a major oil leak on my engine.
Yep, Josh has an oil leak on the left side of his timing cover, and as we know, it's a pretty common problem, isn't it?
Yes, it's a big problem with the Alloytec engine. What happens is they don't run hot enough to burn off the impurities in the oil, and then those impurities then build up in sludge and cause too much back pressure and usually blows out the left side of the timing cover.
Okay. So this is a video just as a guide for if you want to fix this. Hopefully it helps, but this isn't a true representation of how it should be done in any way.
That's right, we're attempting this for the first time, never done a major job like this before, and as we go through we might bedazzle a couple of things on the engine. Okay, so we're setting up a big tarp. It's a cheap insurance to protect us from the elements. Then we're going to get in that engine bay and remove as much as we can, so we've got as much tool access as possible to get down to the timing cover. Okay, so far we've removed the battery, the cold air intake, the intake manifold, the fans, all the coolant out of the radiator, and both the hoses. Next we need to move over the power steering. We're not going to actually disconnect it because we don't want to have to refill it and go through all that later. And pretty much so far we've done everything with one ratchet and a 10 and a 13mm socket. So far we're looking pretty good.
So for reasons such as these, we keep a fire extinguisher in our car.
Because we're going to put some heat into that bolt to help loosen it off so we can get it out.
Too much heat can be damaging, so if you don't feel comfortable with this, use a rattle gun.
Alright, so if you've done some research on this job, which I suggest you do before you do it, you're going to hear a lot of people talking about this special tool for removing the pulley. Well, that's just a pulley remover. When removing the harmonic balancer, it's important to pull from the inside as close to the center as possible with the claws. You don't want to pull from the outside, as this may damage the balancer. Now that we've got those pulleys off, it's time to get to all the bolts that hold the housing on. But to get to the last bolt, you need to shift the power steering module. And to do that, you've got to undo the bottom screw at the bottom, top screw at the top. You access them through the holes in the pulley. Then a small flathead screwdriver will pop that whole unit off like that, so you can get to your last bolt.
Before we remove all the bolts and timing cover, we're just going to go around and number all the bolts according to the diagram we got here in the book, just to make it a bit easier when we're putting the plate back in. So we've just discovered that the power steering pump wasn't the last thing to be removed. We're now removing the 3 nuts on the air compressor unit to allow the air compressor to slide across, revealing hidden bolts on the bracket that mounts it to the motor, plus the 2 at the front. Remove those, slide it out of the way, and you can get to the rest of the bolts on the timing cover.
Okay, so we're not even halfway done yet, and the weather looks like it's taking a turn for the worst. So we're going to do as much as we can now, and then we're going to have to pack up and come back tomorrow. The next thing we're taking off is the rocker covers.
Excited or worried?
Bit of both, but I think I'm more excited.
What's going to be under there?
Sludge, in my opinion. I reckon it will be sludge. I'm praying to God that it's not, but I think it's going to be.
We'll see.
I'm scared.
Here we go.
Oh fuck, dude! Look at it. It's filthy.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Look at that. Wait.
And look at that. That is putrid.
And this is why we're doing this job. As we feared, the rains did come, and it was just a little bit too much for the setup we prepared. So, until next time.